name is Stephanie Carroll and I write historical women's fiction, and this is my Looking for Historical Fiction vlog, which I put on talking about some new historical fiction books that I found at the library and just showing them to you if you are looking for historical fiction too. So today I'm going to be talking about this book, which I can't read backwards, the Psychic Book of Deliverance Dane. I'm actually really excited about this book because it looks really dark and weird. It's by Katherine Howe, and on the front it says, "A gripping supernatural puzzler, spellbinding." And that was from Matthew Pearl, author of the Poe Shadow and the Dante Club. I've heard of the Dante Club before. And there's a longer quote from the same author, Matthew Pearl, author of the Poe Shadow and the Dante Club, on the back. A fresh present-day story infused with an original take on popular history. Forget broomsticks and pointy hats, here are witches that could well be walking among us today. This debut novel flows with poetic charm and eloquence that achieves high literary merit while concocting a gripping supernatural puzzler. Katherine Howe's talent is spellbinding. And look at the back. It's got a lot of cool stuff on the back, a lot of interesting illustrations. And the cover is really interesting looking too. You know, either this author, it says it's her debut novel, so either this author just got a really, really awesome cover designer, or the book is really good so they were willing to put all this. I've been researching how, you know, the expense of doing all this kind of stuff. The inside looks really cool too. And it's expensive. You know, normal publishers won't do that for a book that's just like ho-hum. So either it did really well and they did a second print run and they added all this stuff, or maybe she self-published and paid for it herself. Let me look and see who published it. I hope you guys like that I always mention who published it. No, Hyperion Books of New York. That's one of the big publishers. They published it, and I guess they had a lot of faith that it was a good book. Copyright 2009. Okay, so let me actually tell you about it. A spellbinding, beautifully written novel that moves between contemporary times and one of the most fascinating and disturbing periods in American history, the Salem witch trials. So if you're a big fan of Salem witch trial fiction, I think this might be the book for you. Harvard graduate student Connie Goodwin needs to spend her summer doing research for her doctoral dissertation. But when her mother asks her to handle the sale of Connie's grandmother's abandoned home near Salem, she can't refuse. As she is drawn deeper into the mysteries of the family home, Connie discovers an ancient key with a 17th century Bible. The key contains a yellowing fragment of parchment with a name written upon it, Deliverance Dane. This discovery launches Connie on a quest to find out who this woman was and unearth a rare artifact of singular power, a psychic book, its pages a secret repository for lost knowledge. As the pieces of Deliverance's harrowing story begin to fall into place, Connie is haunted by visions of the long-ago witch trials, and she begins to fear that she is more tied to Salem's dark past than she could have ever imagined. Written with astonishing conviction and grace, the Physick, I'm not sure if it's psychic or Physick. Hold on. The Psychic Book of Deliverance Dane travels seamlessly between the witch trials of the 1690s and a modern women's story of mystery, intrigue, and revelation. So I'm not sure if I'm saying the title right, because I don't think you can see it right there, but the word psychic or Physick, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's spelled P-H-Y-S-I-C-K. Let me see if there's a bigger, no, so I don't know if I'm saying it right. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. So it's either the Psychic Book, of Deliverance Dane or the Physick Book of Deliverance Dane. I'm sure the story explains why it's spelled so funny. The author, Katherine Howe, is completing a PhD in American and New England studies and is a descendant of Elizabeth Proctor, who survived the Salem witch trials, so that's cool, and Elizabeth Howe, who did not. Ooh. The idea for this novel developed while Howe was studying for her doctorate qualifying exams and walking her dog through the woods between Marblehead and Salem. She lives in Massachusetts with her husband. So the author sounds really intriguing, just as intriguing as the story, because she actually is related to people who were in the witch trials. That's pretty neat. Let me see if there's any other blurbs. No, I think that's it. So that's one of the books that I found I found at the library recently. I think it looks really interesting, and I think it would be a really great read for anybody who likes historical fiction, mysteries, a little bit of magic in there, and the Salem witch trials. So if you're interested in historical fiction, check that out. And if you're interested in historical fiction and never know how to find good stuff, keep watching my vlogs. Visit my blog at carolbooks.blogspot.com and check back for more. I try to post these every other week. Thanks.